What's good, everybody? It's your boy Kirk Ray Smith. Y'all know what it is. It's me again. All right, so let's continue our conversation about the infamous topic of racism in the United States of America. And let me say this, I am a proud American. I have served this country, fought wars for this country for almost 8 years in the United States Army. So I'm a proud Army former corporal, you know what I mean? So I'm proud. And my baby boy, he's in there. He's a sergeant, proud of him. And my oldest son, he served for 5 years as well. But anyway, I digress. Let me continue. So now let's talk about education. So now education worked like this. Now, again, at one point in this country, if you were black, you were not allowed to know how to read or write. You could actually get in trouble for it. In fact, it was a crime to be illiterate. We'll talk about that later when we start talking about the criminal justice system. But at any rate, so education. Did you know? Now, again, all of this stuff is not just in the South. So let's get this out of our heads and we're thinking about the Confederacy and all of that. Man, this stuff happened all over the country. I don't know. Let's talk about California. So in the state of California, right, in prominent parts of the state, what they used to do in terms of education, African-American kids would get out of school early. Their school days were shorter than their white counterparts. So you would think that's cool. Hey, I get to get out of school early. Isn't that amazing? Well, let me break down where that came from. So the rationale behind that is if these kids can get out of school early, we can put them to work for white people earlier. We can get more work out of them. So if we cut the school day short and let them work the rest of the day, then we can get more out of them. And it made sense economically, but academically, from an educational standpoint, it made no sense for these black kids to have to do that. Now, why was that so important to them to only give us, in some cases, a half day, a quarter day of school so we can work? Well, in many places in this country, you have what you call sundown towns. So you could work in certain communities, in certain cities in the United States, but if you were black, you had to be out of that area before sundown. So if we could put you to work and put kids to work early in the daytime, with all this daylight saving times and you spring in, what do you call spring forward, fall back, whatever it is, to ensure that they were out of there before sundown, they put them to work. And then they got off from work early enough to get back home and forget homework. They had to go to sleep because they had to get up the next morning and do it all over again. And so what that really did, that made a lot of our kids less educated. Right? And so what happened with us around education is that we became self-educated. We had to teach ourselves. We had to come up with our own system. Here's where churches and community centers became significant, is that they began to create educational opportunities for black people because the public school system wasn't doing that for us. And listen, it was a bunch of, after school and before school programs happened in churches that started community centers. Because check this out. If you were black, you could not go to YMCAs in this country. You couldn't go to a YMCA with other white kids and stuff like that. You either had to have your own community center, own place to go, or and the Y finally at some point let us have black YMCAs, but that's beside the point. But at any rate, that's it. Education. Do your research, fact check it, be scholarly about the infamous topic of racism. 1.